Oh, hey, hello everyone. All of my non-existing students. This is a post I'm recording it a day before. Today is May 30th, 2021, a Sunday, a rainy Sunday. But it'll be posted for my course in the Master of Science to help develop an ecocentric worldview, which is due tomorrow, June 1st. So I'll be posting it tomorrow. But today, I'm recording it, and I'm going to read you what today I'm also going to post on Facebook, hopefully also on Greta's official Facebook, my notes of today watching her speech again from Vienna, I believe, about 2 years ago. So I had shared it on my Facebook, and now I reshared it, but I'm going to add these notes related to my course. I wanted you to know that I did try inviting different guests for this month, including, would you believe, Pamela Anderson. And I'm not saying that Pamela Anderson is an ecocentric humanist. I've never met anybody, but I'm just saying she's probably more endowed for you guys to be able to pay attention to the messages in the conversation. And also she is an animal rights activist, which is a beginning towards a shift towards an ecocentric worldview. I mean, it's, you can be an ecocentric humanist and also but sometimes people, there's a shift ceiling that they accept in their lives for the rest of their lives. So, but still, now I've attempted to contact her before and didn't get an answer either. So I don't know if they get it or they don't find it interesting, or there's not enough views on the example I send them on my YouTube for them to bother. And also maybe they don't like that I've shared some of my experiences from Ladysmith, which are factual and well documented, and that image is everything. So activism has its limits if it doesn't also promote image, right? So anyways, I'll be reading this to you today as I do this course for June 1st that you'll see tomorrow, but you probably won't because you have to go look for it and watch it to see it. And this is also what I am going to be posting with my text on the Facebook groups related to Greta supporters. Okay, so I do not believe I'll be distracted, but today's a day some RVs are leaving on a Sunday, and it's amazing how this paradise again is not even full, because maybe the weather is not perfect. And the climate emergency is going to get worse, but somehow we're still wanting perfect weather for us, the people primates that have to wear clothes, and even inside to not feel uncomfortable. Isn't that weird, eh? Okay, so compared to other species that don't have these kinds of challenges to overcome, and we think we're the top of all the species on this planet, right? Okay, I'm not even sure maybe we did evolve on this planet. We seem so badly fit for paradise, really. Which brings me back to something I didn't finish saying in another vlog that I didn't post yet, is I'm saying that what if life is about the journey and not the destination? And let's say religious people mostly live about the destination. And when I say destination, I mean finally believe there'll be a life of quality for them, which is after they're dead, because most Christians believe they're going to heaven, although for me, I haven't met one that I believe deserves to go there. And if I ever went there and they'd be there, I'd be like giving their God a slap in the back of the head, and their God would accept it, because if they are omniscient, then they would know they deserve it. For screwing up this paradise right here by placing this species on it, right? That had all the tools, but not the desire to actually perfect their first technological revolution, which is human thinking tools at 1.0. Okay, so I wanted to say about this that if most people live for the destination, which is actually not even the last fifth of their life, but actually after they're dead, can you imagine how unmotivated they are to experience heaven and quality of life here when it's really possible here? and that they actually believe they will get access later. It's pretty ridiculous. but also just a lot of people live their lives in a fast pace and they don't realize they will die before whatever, the high bank balance or asset or bigger property that they think is the final destination, when it isn't. After that, they still got to keep going for more, even though they're never, let's say, in that paradise that is huge. And then there's homeless people cramped somewhere else, and again, they think they're going to heaven, and they're not there. They have to pay for it. They have to take care of their health, blah blah. The lifestyle is just too toxic. So anyways, I think an ecocentric humanist, if there was any others out there, would realize that the journey is the paradise, and whether there's a destination for it or not, it doesn't matter, because do it now. Make paradise here. And that doesn't mean you make it just for you, because do you really believe you deserve to go to paradise if you don't cooperate in making it for everybody? So the journey is not just your journey, but it has to be everybody's journey. And of course, an ecocentric humanist would understand this, and would understand that anything that is in contradiction scientifically to creating a paradise for everybody is pretty nuts, to think that they're one of the good people in society. So this begins with, Master of Science Eco 630, and then I write the years because it's the second year, 2021-22. And it's regarding Greta's speech at the Austrian World Summit in Vienna in May 2019. Now, that's when I believe she posted on her site, but before I actually confirmed those words and put them online, I am going to go verify that that's when it was. Speaking as the Doctor of Humanics, watching this video again today, I can say that there are the same 2 points of hers that I disagree with. These points are not related to the client emergency as understood primarily through chemistry. They are in fact related to what types of intelligence that are still possible for the people primates in general, which is why if I was part of her team, I would adapt her activism strategies in this regard. If any of your gods truly existed and agreed to cooperate in order to send you the best savior for these times that you live in, and side note here, many of you have different gods, but you have different ideas of saviors. So again, you guys need to work together, so your gods, if they don't work together, you won't. So you have to imagine gods that work together so that you can imagine yourselves working together. Because, if every different god sends a different savior and they have a different mission, but you guys don't even apply even their mission because you're busy fighting among yourselves, that's kind of ridiculous. So in order to send you the best savior for these times that you live in, it would look exactly like her. She would fail in saving you, like all your past saviors supposedly that came did. However, she would have done the best job compared to any of them. I watched the audience very closely, and I can see that many hope that the cameras won't show them experiencing their own shame. Not just for what they have done in their past, but for what they have already decided they are capable of in the future. The education that is missing is not only about the chemistry, it is about the people primates' flawed psychology and in what way everyone needs, as either religious or non-religious sheep, the guidance about how they should act differently, living their own individual daily lives. So it's kind of like what Loki's saying in the first Avengers is you guys, you're training yourselves and your kids to need to be ruled, except that there's no good rulers for you, right? So as to not be part of the problem. So all of you, if you really don't want to be part of the problem, you have to adapt your lives drastically, and it's not going to be the same for everybody because your lives are already very different. And to reach that successfully, let's say within a year, to not be part of the problem, and within a year you're going to do things you're going to think, wow, I've never heard of anybody else do that. And it's true, nobody else has ever done that, but yet you all have to do it, and you'll all want to share your story, how it was different. But that's not the point. The point is, hey, we all did our work to do this separately, and we all had to go from here to here to be part of the solution. And it's amazing. And then, wow, but of course, this is kind of a science fiction movie, right? Saving your cells is a science fiction movie at this time. There are no social structures, be they mental health or education related, anywhere on this planet capable of helping in this individualized way. I mean, for these structures to exist, the people that would need to do this would need to be the minority, but it's the majority that needs to do this, right? The 99.6% of you. So of course, who would work in these places to cater to the 99.6% of you and help you adapt your individual lives? You know, do the math. You know, it's pretty simple math. The people that would work in these places would be you, and you can't do it. So of course you can't teach yourself to do something you can't do. It's kind of too late. That's why I'm saying, when I was born as a baby, becoming later on the doctor of humanics, finishing my studies of the human condition on a global scale using my own theory, which is a grand unification theory in the social sciences, which has predictive abilities but also reaches back to explain things from the past that no other science has done to explain why we're here. It says that. But listen to the rest of my text. Again, as your species leaders and saviors, I say, remain without the Doctor of Humanics on their teams. This sounds arrogant, but, you know, the first person that said the Earth is spherical, and I can prove it, and he can, so he looks pretty confident. Well, you probably all thought he was, or she was, arrogant. The best simpleton advice that I can give you now is to, 1, pretend like all of your made-up gods are truly dead. That 2, everyone needs to go bankrupt to save your species. That 3, innovative and harsh family planning measures must be in effect now for everyone. And finally, that 4, even if you applied all of these now, that you should never stop applying these as you notice that it is still, as time passes, not enough to succeed. And the reason why is that life on Earth is not at all about you, the people primates who all suffer from human chauvinism, but it is in fact about the biosphere. Life on Earth is about the biosphere. So you continue to live outside of it, that's your choice. You will be booted out, and in less, let's say, kind ways than COVID-19 in the future. And it is because of the reality of this text explains. Signed, the very disappointed. So yes, we have to say, not just kids, but adults, that in the majority, we are very disappointed. In our leaders, in our supposed religious authority figures or saviors, we are very disappointed. The very disappointed lone ecocentric humanist. I have yet to meet another one, although many would say, hey, I'm just like you. And no, and reality is easy to prove that you're just like everybody else. Professor Marty, creator of the Master of Science-ECO free online course. And then I say, hint, there are about 7.9 billion more opening spots for this class if anybody wants to join. P.S. Not only how this last 2 years was again wasted, but also the applause and other nonverbal responses from the crowd tells me that they could not deal with the reality of Greta's message from 2 years ago, and that therefore Greta was mostly applauded as an abnormal young lady who had succeeded at getting through her challenging speech in its entirety, something that 99.6% of the audience who think they're better than her in some way would either not succeed at or not even have the courage to try. You think I'm crazy? I think you're crazy, says the Doctor of Humanics, who'd still like to help and is still doing this course. The ecocentric humanist, the captain of accountability, a culture repair, a learning specialist, the professor of socio-cybernetics. I'm sorry if you don't like my titles, but somebody's got to be working on this stuff.